You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the November 19th meeting for the Michigan City Sanitary Board. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening, Michigan City, Indiana. Welcome to the Michigan City Sanitary District Board of Commissioners regular meeting on November 19th. Excited to have you all here. Looks like we got a good crowd in the audience. I'm not going to call the roll. Just let the record show that everyone is here as the commissioners, with the exception of Tance Falls. And he may show up a little bit later, but right now we have 4 in attendance and we have a quorum. Mr. Harris, would you like to refer to the executive committee?
Yes, there was an executive session held immediately prior to this meeting, and there was nothing discussed during that meeting and no final vote taken. The only items discussed were those items listed on the posted and advertised notice. If there are any commissioners who would dissent that certification, you can do so now. If not, you can proceed with the meeting present.
Hearing none, let's proceed. Can I have, what's the recommendation from the board relative to the approval of the minutes of the executive session and the regular meeting on October 29th?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the Wednesday, October 29th, 2025 executive session and Wednesday, October 29th, 2025 regular meeting.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we'll have the public comment portion now. Just to remind those in the public, we'd love public comment in the first place. But if you have something that's specifically related to an agenda item, then let us know that now, and we will allow public comment at that time when it comes up on the agenda. Otherwise, we're going to close the public comment at the beginning of the meeting. So is there anyone here to make a public comment today? Asking for public comments? Nope. Seeing no public comments today. Hey, we must be doing something right, or the public's not alert. I'm not sure which it is, but either way.
You take it.
Anyway, so I'm going to close the public comment section, and let's move over to item number 5, the financial report on October 2025 balances.
I'm Mary Lynn Wall. I'm the city controller, and I've got all the reconciled cash balances as of September 30th, 2025. And this represents the actual bank account reconciliations that we have completed for all the bank accounts. So that's why it's dated September 30th.
Okay, so that, is this the general ledger summary?
Yep.
Okay, just want to make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Thank you.
Reconciled
Okay.
balances by fund. As you know, for a long time, we're just giving you bank balances. Well, that's like telling you, well, there's your checking account balance. Well, that's not telling enough of the story if you don't know your actual fund balance. So I'm happy to report they're all positive, except for the grant fund, which I'll explain why that one's appropriate to be negative. The refuse is $1,917,272.89. The sanitary grant fund is a negative $2,601.20, and that's because there are expenses that we've not been reimbursed for yet. So that's why it's
reimbursed from a grant.
From a grant
That we have locked down.
Yeah.
We just haven't got the money yet. Okay.
Correct, absolutely. In perfect world, once a grant, if we only have one grant out there, this would go to 0 once the grant is closed.
Nice, okay.
So that's all that represents are just expenses that we need to, because we pay, it's a reimbursable grant. So we have to incur the expenses first,
Gotcha.
and then we have to ask for reimbursement.
Okay.
Okay, so you got the SRF Debt Reserve Fund of $572,138.94. The Bond and Interest Fund of $307,368.58. Stormwater Fund of $772,058.39. A special fund of $10,686.01. Carwick Remediation has got a balance of $208,321.96. The Levy Excess Fund is $8,522.14. The operating fund has got a positive balance of $717,229.78. And I think from reports before, sometimes that's not been such a healthy balance, so I'm pleased to.
That's good.
report that.
Well, this is September, okay.
Yep. The improvement fund is $790,276.62. The vehicle replacement fund, $267,677.07. And the equipment replacement fund of $529,396.70, for a grand total of $6,098,347.88.
Great. So that is money in the bank. As of the end of September.
And a number of these funds do make up your different
Right.
bank accounts, but I think this gives you.
Right, well, not at this meeting, but maybe at the budget or after the budget, would like to have an understanding, a little bit of the definition of each one of the funds.
That'd be great.
And why we have the fund set up, what it's supposed to be used for. Not that we can't move money with the appropriate approvals between different funds.
Yes.
But to just try to understand a little bit. So I mean, an easy one kind of in my mind is the vehicle replacement fund. So at some point something breaks down, we got $250,000 or so in there. We got a little room to do something or not. It depends on the equipment. Similarly, some of these other ones are kind of interesting to me too. Whatever the special fund is, I mean,
Yes, that's good.
I don't know if that's for bonuses for the board or what, you know.
Correct. There's probably something set up and it probably.
Or we're gonna have a Christmas party. I don't know what it's for, but it's something special. So
I have a feeling it's just a balance remaining for something that was from way years past.
that's my bet too. But just understand what they are. So I make a little light of it, of course. I hope people think it's being light. So.
Oh, and absolutely, and it may turn around that we can clean up some of these funds.
Yes.
If we find that, then we can have board approval to say, well, move that back.
Yeah, we have a better and higher use. Yeah, for sure.
And I think we are. I've heard that we're right in the middle where we're trying to begin the budget, and any help that the controller's office can give, please just let us know. We'll help you with your budget
I
process.
appreciate that. So this is a nice summary. I do like getting that. So are you going to cover the budget performance report also?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know what, well, I'm glad to get it. There's a lot of detail here. You know, we just looked at it. So
Okay,
you might just, for the audience, if you will,
yes.
describe, is this kind of the P&L for
Well, not
the,
necessarily. And this is what you're gonna be working on. You have a prescribed budget, just like every other company. You wanna work within a budget.
right,
So you could have a cash balance of an X amount of money, but you want to budget based on the first thing you should do is figure out your revenues and then budget accordingly to have a balanced budget. So this is just giving a management tool to see how we are with our budget. If are we hitting our line item for utilities, and then in the sanitary district, you've got it all by the different departments, whether it's monitoring, whether it's your lift stations, whether it's your general operation with your IT department. So this is more just of a management tool to try to manage your budget. But unlike the city, where we just had a council meeting last night, where we are obligated to absolutely stay within a budget, and if we have to go outside of this budget, we have to maybe additionally appropriate money into our budget, which we just had that last night in our council meeting. So.
yeah, I think this is more of an internal operations report to see that we hit the bigger, broader numbers relative to what we're doing. And I think, too, as we get better and better at understanding our own accounting, we can keep it as loose or as tight as we want. I'm not, on most boards I'm on, we get some type of a P&L like this. And generally speaking, I'll scan down and see big overs or unders, and for those I have a big question. But other than that, if it's in the range, and we have a healthy cash balance, or our balance sheet is solid, I'm not overly concerned. When it starts getting out of whack, when you start looking at every month, and I would assume the red flags would go off from the staff to tell us, hey, we're having a little trouble here or there, whatever. So
Correct. But
very good. No, I appreciate it. It's good work. So
without a budget, I do think we'll have more explanation maybe with the different replacement funds and all that nature. So we'll talk about that
all right.
as we're getting in the budget process.
We will, and Buzz, some of our new consultants have jumped on and helped, have already started to do some of that and can provide that additional information so that we know that everything's going to the right place and what we should be doing and how much we should be setting aside.
Good. Well, I think it was, yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
Pretty good.
the claim.
Okay, so do we, yes, we wanna go ahead with, so should I say?
Well, so, yeah, on the claims docket, I'm gonna ask for recommendation for the staff.
Okay,
But in this, I don't think we necessarily need to have a vote to accept the financial reports that were presented.
okay.
So unless somebody on the board has a question about them, so it's good to get, thank you. So,
Okay,
so let's, with that said, let's move into the approve and allow revenue and tax levy claims for payment. And I'm assuming that's the claims docket.
Yes,
So I assume, Rhonda, would you like to summarize that a little bit?
yes, we recommend approval and allow revenue and tax levy claims for payment of $385,139.77.
All right. And the breakdown of the payables is attached. What's the pleasure of the board?
I move to approve the claims docket for November 19th, 2025 in the amount of $385,139.77.
Is there a second?
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, Harris Law Firm, item number 6, no reports. And I'm assuming we're paying your retainer, so that's good. All right, item 7, Schneider Geomatics. I don't know why you want to say metrics, but geomatics.
Yeah, you know what, we've been with them now for since February, and sometimes I type the wrong email. It's a lot of letters in an email, it's a long end.
We're good, yeah.
Yeah, so, first item on the agenda, okay, change order request 1 on this job. This was previously approved, I just resubmitted it, not resubmitted, but I'm just showing it to you again because we're all learning the IFA process, the funding process, us and redevelopment are. And there's some different forms we have to use, and it's just a different change order form that needs signature is all. We just so you see the different forms.
So there's no change on this one.
There's no
So
change.
that doesn't mean we need to take an action, then if it's the same and you're just
It's just,
informing us, so okay. And then what about change order number 2, is that the same issue?
no, change order 2 does need action. That was the work change directive I explained last month about the additional IT conduit project. This is just a follow-up to that work change directive.
Okay.
So it does need action.
And I take it the staff is recommending this?
Yes, we're recommending approval for change order request number 2 and work change directive number 3 for the installation of sanitary district supplied conduit along the route of the Lake Avenue Highway 12 lift station project.
Okay, so let's finish number 2 first, I guess, and then we'll come down to the third, right? Are they related?
They are the same. The one is a change order request and one is a work change directive, but it's for the same thing.
Oh, okay. All right, I got confused between 2 and 3. Okay, so once
We're approving the money, then we're approving the contractor to do it.
I got you. Okay. Pleasure of the board.
I move to accept change order number 2 for a net increase in the contract of $8,696.16. And I would also move to, let's see, where are we, to approve the work change directive number 3 for this change order.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right, pay request number 4, H&G Underground Utilities.
So, we recommend approval for pay request number 4 to H&G Underground Utilities in the amount of $13,369.44 per John Primke's recommendation. The project is 22.67% complete, and there's a balance of $2,270,235.55.
Great. All right, what's the pleasure of the board on that one?
I make a motion to approve pay request number 4 to H&G Underground in the amount of $13,369.44.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. That carries, and I pay request number 197842R Schneider Geometrics.
We recommend approval for pay request number 197842R to Schneider Geomatics in amount of $9,398.75 for professional service rendered for the Lake Avenue Highway 12 lift station project.
Let me see. All right, and the board's recommendation? Or what would the board like to do with the recommendation?
I move to approve pay request number 197842R, Sanitary Geomatics, in the amount of $9,398.75.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. All right. Michigan City Annex Area Sewer Extension Project, also known as M-Case.
Also known as MK, so it's just much shorter. Yeah.
Sounds like an engineer to me, but okay.
Okay. Anyway, just brief report, and I think I'm gonna, if it's okay with the board, I'm going to, when I talk about the report, just take item 4 about the substantial completion letter, just move it up with it. It
Yeah, sure, yeah,
it's really
please.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Project's 92% complete. There is a balance to finish that includes the retainage of $279,866.65. We completed an inspection, a walkthrough with myself, the contractor, and some sanitary district staff. Highlighted a few items that needed to be addressed. Those have all been taken care of. So really all that needs to happen is the final completion items that I have on my letter that's included.
Right.
We are working with them now on just getting through some things with final grading and the restoration of the plantings.
Dated November 12th.
That we are working through with them now. But other than that, the project is actually receiving flow from the cemetery. I think I said that
Really?
last month. The cemetery has those little mini E1 pump stations, those little grinder stations,
Okay.
and it's receiving flow, functioning fine. Manholes are clean.
Good. Well, the report looks very thorough. I just read through it. And, so does this also have the access driveway culvert, or is that something different?
It actually has the access drive. I included some pictures of that under
Yeah,
construction.
it's really nice, yeah. Still had leaves on the trees.
Oh, yeah, I took these photos. And there are a couple culverts underneath. There were a couple existing ditches or, this drainage flow that came across that driveway.
Yeah.
We made sure it got picked up in the driveway. And I believe that was change order number 3, I believe,
Yeah,
that
I
was,
see it.
that was on. Yeah.
Cool.
But the rest, really, I really can't show pictures of pipe and manholes going in the ground. Yeah, pictures.
I said this is exciting stuff. Huh?
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
John, at that south extension going behind Swan Lake to where it bends 90 degrees to go to 20.
Yeah.
There's, the ditch begins there that runs to the north along the road all the way back to that culvert at the cemetery.
Right.
Is there a possibility of getting a culvert in there from what looks like a little wetland across from where we worked on the south side across? I don't know if you've been out there when it rains, but there's water that kind of
Water
runs
sits there,
across
yeah.
there all the time.
Yeah, let's look at it
Yeah,
together.
if that's something that they could do, that'll make it easier for us in a maintenance version to get all the way around.
It will be tough to get over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's been times I haven't been able to get my truck through there because it gets so muddy. And I know,
right around that corner.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it stays damp there. Yeah, let's look at it together if we can. We'll talk about it and we'll get it taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
okay, so I don't know if we need to necessarily. We appreciate the board on a letter of substantial completion, and the recommendation from Ron is to pay these 2 invoices. Then.
Yes, that is correct. And to approve the determination of the letter of substantial completion as well.
Oh, is that necessary? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
It should at least have, yeah.
Good with me. It's almost done. That means.
Yes.
So what's the pleasure of the board on the letter of completion? And then we'll do I suppose we can do the 2 pay requests separately.
I'll combine everything if that's all right with the board.
Okay.
I move to approve pay request number 197841 Schneider Geomatics in the amount of $11,680. pay request number 3620458-8 for Reeve Riley Construction in the amount of $137,834.55, and to approve Reeve Riley Construction's letter of substantial completion.
That's good. Is there a second?
Good job.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That's great. I mean, you got it done by the end of summer or end of season?
Yep.
93%. Looks good.
Yeah, it looks fine.
They didn't have any complaints come flying in that I'm aware of, so it must have had all that stuff on the field.
Yeah, I don't,
It's good to be out in the middle of nowhere once in a while.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and there's nobody complaining at the cemeteries.
No. We wouldn't listen to them.
Captive audience.
There we go. All right.
Yeah,
Okay, are you doing the topo engineering services then too?
yes. That's for a drainage fix, a drainage repair on Lakeshore Drive. We completed some preliminary drawings and have issued them to staff to review, try to work out some utility complex and to see what changes might happen to the conceptual design.
I think you reported a little bit on this before. Was something collapsed or something, or just clogged, or?
Just clogged. Yeah, there's some dry wells that no longer function. At least they appear to be dry wells, no longer function. Some pavement that, is a little uneven, holds water.
Okay. And
We recommend approval of pay request number 197851 to Snyder Geomatics in the amount of $5,106.25.
right, and the pleasure of the board.
I will move to approve pay request number 197851 for Snyder Geomatics in the amount of $5,106.25 for the topo services at 1933 Lakeshore Drive.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Sure.
All right. Christopher Burke Engineering.
Christopher Burke Engineering provided professional services, including a lift station reviews, permit policies reviews, emergency utility repairs, asset management plan, and item correspondence. And invoice number 40077 associated with that work for $6,602.50, and we recommend approval.
Alright. So is there actually a progress report in here? Or not? I'm just curious.
We usually always provide one. Just, yes. Yes, there's a progress report. It's,
If you're satisfied with this.
right behind the invoice.
Blue sheet.
Okay.
Behind it.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, I see it now. I got it. I got it. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's for the, MS4, I'm sorry.
We didn't receive a report.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
No.
Well, but you're satisfied with it. So,
Yes.
right? So, okay. And it's like I'm flying in here out of compliance.
Right, correct.
Okay. All right, so what's the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion to approve
Thank you.
the payment of invoice 40077 to Christopher B. Burke in the amount of $6,602.50.
I will second that motion.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And
And
that,
just for information, in the back of the invoice, they have all the hours that were spent on the project and what they did, so.
I know you were sensitive to that in the past on another project. That's great. It's thorough. And similar than the other one is, this is the MS4 compliance.
Yeah.
It's completed.
So, yes, they provided a progress report and they provided services including discussion and coordination for MS4 related items. They submitted MS4 documents, assisted with documents for the MS4 audit, and assisted with the stormwater plan. And I think, Al, did you want to talk about the MS4 audit?
That's coming up under
Okay.
old business.
Okay. So the invoice associated with this work, number 40586, in the amount of $9,742.61, and we recommend approval.
All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
I'll make a motion to approve invoice 40586 to Christopher B. Burke in the amount of $9,742.61.
Second?
Seconded, any further discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Interesting to me is, and maybe I'm reading this wrong, but I'm looking at the summary. The budget was $50,000. To date, we've been billed almost $49,000. I'm assuming we're anticipating that it will stay below $50,000.
Yeah, we're getting real close. We'll have an update on that at the next meeting. Some of those costs were related to stormwater reviews from private developers, that we are capturing those costs and we'll be passing those on to the developer.
Okay.
So,
I mean, at this point, it's under budget. I just,
Right, yeah,
so my broader question was it going to stay that way?
yeah, that's real close.
Okay, cool. All right, good. Thank you. All right, this is exciting. This next one, the CDS Engineers Inc. pilot study for the primary clarifiers
Exciting.
versus the secondary clarifiers. But
Primary.
All right, Dan Cutshaw, CDS, give you a little update. Been working with Rhonda on the primary clarifiers, and the goal is to try to find some cost savings in the $100 million project that's coming up. So we did a pilot with cloth filters from Nexum. That didn't really work out so well. I don't think it's gonna be I don't think we're gonna recommend using that. So we've got another one coming in next week from Aqua. Aqua has one that they claim works over in Rockford, Illinois. I'm gonna try to get Rhonda over there to Rockford, Illinois to take a look at it. And we'll probably try to do that sometime in December. But they're going to start next week. The third one that we're trying to get done is a tube settlers, and I probably have more confidence that those are going to work. Their trailer was totaled in an accident, and
Wow.
and it is being rebuilt, and they're not going to be here till March. So. Wendy, we probably need to talk a little bit about timing here.
Okay,
And we've got some other money-saving ideas that I think might work.
excellent.
It might be good to get together with the group again here in the next couple weeks and go over those and decide, we want to wait till March, what do we want to do? I would probably wait. I mean,
Okay.
I think it really kind of depends on what your appetite is in terms of the growth and things like that. If you're really needing to get something done, just remember, by the time we start design, it's 4 years before we're in operation. So it's some time.
Okay, so we've had some pretty regular meetings. We'll put another one on
Yeah.
the schedule, and maybe we'll just go ahead and make it recurring, and then we'll
Yeah.
chat and we'll catch up and see what we can do, because we've had several of those, and
Mm-hmm.
things are going to happen. So let's just accommodate it and plan and
Yeah.
do as we can. Thanks, Dan.
So
That's
that's
I
it.
didn't have any questions. I mean, obviously, it's a focus on trying to save some money for the operations and as citizens, so it's really good work.
Yes.
And
Glad that we're considering other stuff too,
Yeah.
so that's good too.
can't schedule something if somebody's trailer is demolished in an accident. Life is going to happen. So thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll do that.
Thanks, okay. And Rhonda, your recommendation on the invoice?
Yes, we recommend approval for the invoice to CDM in the amount, CDS, I'm sorry, in the amount of $6,942.40 for their work in helping us through these pilot studies.
Pleasure of the board.
I will move to approve CDS Engineers Inc.'s invoice for the amount of $6,942.40.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Looks like you're gonna get paid.
All right.
Merry Christmas.
Item number 10, we only have 15 tonight, so 300 North Lift Station Sewer System Project Update.
That one's me. So just a quick progress report that things are going very well. And the productivity and working with our counterparts and friends at the county is coming along really nicely. We got together and executed a plan to try to get this resolved, and we are very much working toward it. We have some things to review from them on the technical side. Everybody is keeping up their end of the agreement, which is really nice. We're dealing with our technical issues, and I feel really solid about this. So I just wanted to say something really positive about teamwork and getting together and coming together to resolve things. And we've also learned a lot, and we'll have different policies and procedures moving forward, and we'll all be more successful to accommodate growth no matter where it occurs.
So the summary is we're having a good relationship with the county.
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's working together. It's really good. We have to
Like it. Good.
That's the story, she's sticking to it.
Yeah.
Any other questions relative to the lift station? All right, item number 11, our 2-year plan. Alan?
Let me give you a quick update. The commissioners in your packet, there's a.
Yeah, very nice, yes.
Border, this was the pretty much all red spreadsheet from last month that didn't make any sense to have all the red on there. So most of the items are kind of ongoing, going on in the background. I do want to bring up a couple things in the November update, bold categories. Item 1.2, updated fee structure for permits reviews. Cronin Associates were here, and others. We had meetings with them, and we're developing fee recommendations, so made some good progress on that last month. Anticipated due date is to have an update for the board at the December meeting. And then 1.3, similarly, we're doing data transfer to Crone with regard to system development charges. Had a meeting back in late October, so we'll be bringing more information to the board at December as well. When we go down to item 2.2 collection system, we had a kickoff meeting with Robinson Engineering on 11/4. And then after the meeting, we did site visits to the Michigan City Esplanade sewer and also the Edgewood areas. And since that meeting on 11/4, we've had collection staff out at the Esplanade, locating manholes, taking manhole depths, ringer, riser elevations, and we're videotaping from those manholes either direction as far as we can go to get that data. We're compiling that data, and then we'll be turning that over on a jump drive to Robinson so they could look at our inspections. And Tom Nagel from Robinson is here tonight as well. So that project, that's moving along. We'll have another in-person meeting first week in December. By then, we'll have some videotape from the Edgewood area to share with them as well. So moving forward on both of those projects with Robinson. With the lift station assessment, we're going through historical records, providing that information to Burke for their engineers to review. Burke's also going through a detailed review of all of our 44 sanitary sewer lift stations, looking at sewer elevations to see if there's any opportunity to perhaps put in some new gravity lines here or there and trying to eliminate any lift stations. So they're going through that process. Anticipate having some inspections on lift stations in December. The due date for that is end of January. And then moving down the list, item 5.1, ditch maintenance plan. The board did approve in October an agreement with Christopher Burke to do the assessment of street alarm ditch. That field assessment half of it was done last Friday. So we had civil engineer from Burke was here, one of our collection guys went with him, walked about 1.5 miles of the 3-mile stretch. I was able to join him for a good portion of that. Was pleased to see that in street alarm ditch itself, oftentimes when we do ditch assessments, mainly in agricultural areas, there'll be a lot of sediment. You'll be walking in the ditch with waders, you'll sink into the ground and almost lose your waders. It was very little sedimentation along the flow line of the ditch from Ohio Street all the way up to the Monon lift station, the Knapp School area. Very solid base, very little sedimentation in the ditch line itself.
So
Clear water.
Yeah, so let me ask, my curiosity is, on the sediment, are we trapping it before it gets in the stream, or is it just flushing through so fast?
Some of it is kind of flush through by path, but when we divert into Struggle Pond Basin, we have a weir onto a concrete platform, and then we have more riprap further into the pond, so that's a sediment basin for it to drop off.
Okay, and then you scoop it out every couple of years or something, okay.
And based on the assessment we did last Friday, we'll be doing some sediment removal on the weir into the basin. There's nothing in the assessment we did Friday that provides any elevated risk of any potential flood risk. We did observe along the east side of the basin evidence of some beaver activity. There is one very small, low-profile beaver dam north of the weir inlet to the basin and south of our restriction. The assessment of the civil engineer is if we had a big gully washer, it's so small in nature, mostly saplings, smaller trees that would get washed through with a flush, but we're going to be working with staff to remove that beaver dam debris, and we'll have more updates on that in upcoming meetings. So probably after Thanksgiving, perhaps next week, Burke might be here to finish the other 1.5 miles of assessment, but so far it's going real good. I've identified we have some leaning trees in the ditch line that we have to remove. We'll probably do most of those with staff. There's a couple really big trees we'll have to take down, but that'll be part of the Burke report eventually. So making real good progress on the street lawn ditch assessment, which will be part of the overall ditch maintenance plan, scheduled to be done in first quarter next year. So those are just kind of the key November updates. All the others are continuing ongoing. And then we did update the overall plan. We showed the days, Friday's date as the update of the plan. The yellow boxes show progress in the different areas. We're working towards a number of items being ready to present to the board at the December meeting.
Yeah. That's a great report.
Yes.
A couple of curiosity things. Just taking the dam out doesn't help. Where did the little beavers go?
So there is,
We had an entire conversation.
I mean, there's some other communities might want some. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, Al, if you could give us names of some of
So many options.
companies.
yes, so the DNR maintains a list of registered animal wildlife control people. So we have a couple here locally. There's 4 in LaPorte, St. Joe County area. McCoy Wildlife Animals, 1. What was the other one? Trapping Fool is another out of St. Joe County.
I've heard of the beaver hunter. Right, he's around there.
And then officially, November 14th through, I think it's March 31st, is official beaver trapping season.
Oh.
However, there's a second provision where if beavers are creating property damage that could lead to significant nuisance injury, that will allow for beaver remediation as well. So we're reaching out to some of the licensed animal wildlife control specialists in the area. It appears to be a more recent development based on the type of activity we've seen in the creek. We've been monitoring the ditch overflow into the weir into Struggle Pond all summer long. We haven't noticed any increase of water from the ditch overflowing the weir, which indicates the ditch is open and flowing. We did have the snow melt last week. We had a little bit of rain yesterday. We did remove some debris from a trash rack Monday morning based on the results of the inspection Friday. So there was a small trickle over the weir today, but the system appears to be working fine, and we'll continue to proceed to do all the other regular maintenance on the ditch. So we'll probably have an update on the beaver situation at next month's meeting.
That's a great report.
Thanks, Al.
Oh, yeah, would we allow some public comment? Okay, Scott.
If I may, the board might be interested to know that this very subject came up last night in public comment at the Common Council. Former Mayor Meir actually brought up the basin condition of Struggle Pond and the ditch. So somebody might want to report to the Common Council that this maintenance is taking place, that the basin's in good shape, and the sedimentation doesn't appear to be an issue.
I'd be happy to address that. So I spoke with the former mayor after the Board of Works meeting, before the historic meeting. We had already been aware of his concerns. So Al has already worked on that. We'll provide something of a kind of succinct PowerPoint presentation so everybody understands where we are. I assured him we will alleviate his concerns regarding the matter. And he's going to call me to have a meeting. We'll sit down with Al and then we'll report it out publicly. Perhaps we'll even post it to the website.
Yeah. That's a great summary, Al. So one other related kind of question, though, I noticed here in trying to set expectations is the status report of the city council workshop. Said you're going to move it to December. I'm questioning with the holidays and stuff, or whether we might want to actually move that to January. I don't know if somebody in the council is clamoring for a report from us or not. Just given the work we got on our plate, I wonder if a January or February target might be better than having a city council workshop on the update.
Yeah, I think that, and happy to talk about this. I think there is a lot going on. I think we want to, we obviously moved we need to move our board meeting up because of the holiday. We want to be fully prepared.
Right, that's my point. I'm just trying to manage
we need that.
expectations.
Yes, and I think we should too, and we can put out, we talked a little bit about that before the meeting, and absolutely we'll also talk to the mayor, and we do want to make sure everybody understands what's going on, and we want to go in prepared. We have had a little delay in our schedule based on getting some of the financials out of one of the electronic systems. This is just a glitch. It's not a problem. The water department is absolutely working with us to get us what we need, and so we will be ready to move forward with them in a cogent and thoughtful manner. And I think January is a great time.
Well, and I'm just looking at with my limited knowledge here, I'm pretty sure that I could give a decent report myself. So you guys have done a lot of good work here, and we can make it even better. I think we just put a little bit more space in the time, or space on the agenda.
Absolutely agree, and always happy to answer any questions in the interim.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions for Al? All right. Water reclamation superintendent. I'm sorry to mangle your title.
Okay, one of the requirements of our NPDES permit is that we do semi-annual whole effluent toxicity analysis, and what that means in English is that we take samples of our effluent and test the ability of a couple of organisms, water fleas and fat-headed minnows, ability to reproduce and survive in our effluent. We just completed our second one of the year, and our effluent was determined to be neither acutely nor chronically toxic to aquatic life.
So the fleas lived?
Yes, and the fat-headed.
I just had a good time.
Also, our laboratory, this is another requirement that our laboratory do a DMR QA study, and what that is a lab proficiency evaluation. We submit a lot of data to EPA and ITEM every month, and so this study is to determine whether the labs that are doing this analysis are proficient. And
so they have to meet some criteria.
Yeah.
I mean, I would assume there's some certification out here someplace that they have to.
Well, once a year, they get samples, and they have to test the samples, submit the results, and they have a very narrow window to report the data. And all of the results from not only our internal lab, but also the labs that we contract, it was about 20 different parameters, and all of the results were acceptable.
Great.
So we are
Nice job.
happy to get that done. And I think
So to that point too, so I really like the comment on belabor thing there a little bit, but I hope the public feels good because we hire somebody with credentials to actually make sure that we're in compliance, but then we go above and beyond and we send these samples to other locations to have it verified that our own firm that we hired actually is performing as they say they are. So I would hope that gives the public a lot of comfort and that we're not putting stuff in the creek we shouldn't be, and that we have hired an agency to monitor that for us, but then we go above and beyond that and have it tested even beyond that. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
this proficiency study is required by the EPA and ITEM. So our lab and the labs that we contract are determined to be proficient in the lab analysis of all of the parameters that we test for. And the last thing I want to talk about is fall biosolids hauling. So in fall 2024 and spring 2025, we averaged just under $40,000 each time to haul biosolids. So we've been looking at a number of different alternatives to make sure that we were doing it the most cost-efficient way. We've learned that land applying the biosolids is the best option. So this fall, instead of contracting the biosolids hauling to a contractor exclusively, we decided to do it in-house and to have a contractor assist us. And it turned out a lot better than we imagined. The collections and refuse department teamed up. We did all of the loading and 70% of the hauling, and the total cost, including what we paid the contractor, the fuel costs, and the overtime expenses, were $15,425.23, or 61% less than what we spent the last two times that we hauled biosolids.
That's wonderful. That's exactly what you would hope good government does do in terms of trying to, instead of just signing it off the easy way and just having a single contractor, that we actually put some extra effort in and find a way to save money for our residents. So that's a great savings. I mean, most of the times when you're pursuing something like this, I see somebody, it's a win if I save 10 or 20%, let alone 61%. So congratulations, that's great. I hope you congratulate your team on that too.
Oh, absolutely.
We should,
Yes,
we should think of a little cake or celebration or something. I don't know what it is, but I mean, we should get a little recognition. I mean,
Agreed.
do we have an awards thing here every year or anything?
I don't know, we should think about that moving.
I mean, serious. I mean, this is real money, and it's real savings, and I hope they feel good about it. I mean, but it needs to be, they have a higher profile.
Yes, so we are considering when we haul
And
again
we'll give
in
them,
the
have the mayor give them a
spring.
plaque or something, yeah.
We're looking at maybe doing it exclusively in-house in the spring, so we can save even more money.
Great. So let me argue this a little bit. So I routinely hear the police and the fire department give awards for outstanding duty above and beyond the call. Thing. This is very similar. I mean, we didn't have to do this.
No?
It could have easily just been another line item that we signed off on here. And so I'm assuming it's a combination of staff and employees who dreamt this up, and there should be some recognition.
I agree.
Or at least when we report out at our workshop, I mean, whatever, or at the next city council meeting or something like that. It's really a good thing.
We agree.
Okay.
We'll work on it. We'll figure it out.
Thanks.
Looks like our drivers can make 4 rounds every day. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, great. Any other questions for Rhonda? All right, item 13, old business.
So first item under old business is the municipal septic storm sewer system and the sport program. Back on October 7th, we had our item audit here. Stacy Goodwin from item was here. We did office meeting to review different reports, paperwork, plans, and then we went and visited 2 facilities, central maintenance facility garage and central services garage. This past Monday, we did receive the audit reports back. The main program report on the 4 minimum control measures audited, plus the 2 facility reports, all came back with no findings.
Wow.
So real good report. Didn't get a chance to make copies of those. We'll have those for you in next month's board packet. It identifies everything they looked at, many different items. That's part of a once every 5-year audit. So we are now completed with that item process for those items. We still have 2 other minimum control measures, construction site, MS4 items, and post-construction. So that audit will be scheduled sometime early next year, next summer, and then that will complete all 6 of the items and get that done. The US EPA Region 5 in the Midwest has been auditing state programs over the last few years. Iowa's been done, I think Minnesota's been done. Indiana is the next state to be audited. So the US EPA staff will be picking about a dozen MS4 communities in Indiana to do their own separate standalone audit. So we'll see if we have any information on that coming up. But that's
Sounds like we're prepared.
yeah, we're getting everything together, so we'll stay on top of that.
Thank you.
And then for Birch Tree Farms, conceptual drainage plan.
I did say it in there, yes.
We have your board packet. It's just mainly for information. We want to provide an update to that. In this neighborhood in Michigan City, it's around west of Moore Road, north of Highway 12. There's a couple of east-west roads, primarily Lady Lane, Birch Tree Farms, connected by Clemens Drive. Historically, there's been some drainage concerns, issues in that area. We've had a lack of specificity of what type of in-ground stormwater infrastructure we had along those streets. So back in late December last year, the board approved a contract with Great Lakes Engineering at the time, now Schneider Geomatics, to do a survey of the area to find out where the existing drainage structures were, use LiDAR topography to see where the drainage is going, and come up with some conceptual plans. So we do have conceptual plan in 2 phases from Schneider Geomatics. We do have some cost information, and we're working with city staff and other departments on potential ways to fund some of that stormwater improvements. We do have funding through a RIF grant from the state of Indiana to construct the US 12 lift station, the project that John reported on earlier today. There is a contingency in that project, and we'll be reaching out to the state to see if we can use some of that contingency for constructing some of the stormwater infrastructure as part of this Birch Tree Farms. This all would be conveyed into that new US 12 lift station. It's all in that sanitary sewer shed. If we do have drainage problems here, water can pond on roads, get in sanitary manholes, and we could have stormwater runoff infiltration into our new lift station. So it's all connected to that project. So we're hopeful to see if we can use some of the contingency from Highway 12 to jumpstart some of this storm infrastructure. So more on that probably at our January meeting, but we just wanted to give the board the update that the board did hire Schneider back in December. They've done their design work, given us some phases, some cost estimates. So now it's up to the city team to see how we want to move forward on it.
So how does this work with, isn't there a new housing project right in the middle of this?
Yes, the more.
Yes, the Moores,
So, I mean,
they had their own standalone drainage plan for phase 1. They submitted infiltration basin data based on the sandy soils there. They provided infiltration rates for site-specific infiltration, and they oversized the detention basins because there was no stormwater nearby to discharge into. So they're kind of a standalone for phase 1. All stormwater is handled on site, collected in the basins, which have already been built, and revegetated to some extent, some trees planted. So that's adjacent to where the storm infrastructure may be going, but this storm infrastructure is not required for phase 1.
I'm just bringing up the concept relative to whether there needs to be some coordination.
And there has been.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, that's why we put it on the agenda, because it came up out at the Moore as they were doing their work, and I said, okay, So we were good on phase one, and then we talked about it, and this had kind of come up before I came on board, and we agreed, let's go ahead and put it back on the agenda so everybody can see where we're headed with it
Looks good.
as we go forward.
Yeah. Basically what's been happening down is that on Birch Tree Lane, coming off Moore Road,
Yeah.
it's downhill to the middle of basically Birch Tree. So both ends of that street drain to a little wet well that didn't take any water. The water would build up along the curb and over the center line and then run down straight to the north all the way to where the end of this phase one sewer is.
Wow.
So if we can get that phase one sewer in before we get everything else going, that alleviates the rear yard flooding that's been happening in
So
some.
I like it. You'll be happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started a couple of
I can
years ago.
see some people sitting on there now.
I
Yeah,
had a meeting with the resident there who pointed out that he was getting all the water from the whole area coming to his backyard.
They can put some dirt in the backyard and then it goes every place else.
That's kind of what we said, well, put him a burn until we get a sewer there.
there you go.
And here we are getting close, so.
Okay, other questions for Al? Okay.
And the last item of new business, I'll be dealing with that as well. So this is a project being implemented by NDOT. It's a drainage structure replacement project. If you can picture Highway 12 on the northeast part of Michigan City, as you would head out of Michigan City,
This is by 441 or whatever?
by Muir Road.
Yeah, but there's nothing
Little bit
hotel
west
there?
of that, yeah, it's
Okay.
Yeah, by the,
4411 or
yeah,
whatever?
the suites.
Okay.
It's a block or two away.
Yeah.
So at that intersection of Highway 12 and Muir Road, White Ditch, an old agricultural ditch now has been, a culvert was placed under Highway 12 many years ago. NDOT has to replace that structure. There are both water and sewer lines where the structure is now. When they replace the structure, the sewer and water have to be relocated to put that new structure in. Lawson Fisher Associates, they're the design engineer for the new structure replacement. They've done the culvert design, they've done all the permitting through the DNR. It's in a floodplain floodway, so there's a lot of specific permits that are needed. So we have some preliminary discussions with them so since our infrastructure, our sanitary sewer is within the NDOT right-of-way, as NDOT makes improvements, then we're at risk to have to move our infrastructure if there'll be a conflict. So this is one of the cases where by putting in a different culvert under the road, our infrastructure will be in the way, so we have to relocate it.
Yeah, at our expense.
Yes.
Okay.
So we reached out to Lawson Fisher, we got this proposal from them to do engineering of the redesign. We've reviewed with them how we want to see the redesign done, so we can still maintain our sewer and get it out of the way of the culvert. They provided 3 potential tasks. Engineering design development was $13,900 lump sum. For permitting, there's a not to exceed fee of $7,200. And then if needed, there's some bidding assistance, a number in there, $6,400 for a total of $27,500. We're anticipating this will get bid with the overall culvert replacement project. So then we don't have to go out on our own to bid this work and have multiple contractors working in the same area. So I would recommend that since Lawson Fisher is already doing the engineering there, it doesn't seem efficient to bring in a whole third-party designer, have to do whole new permits with DNR construction in the floodway, just wrap it into that existing contract. And then, once we get to construction, there would be, as I understand, some limited cost sharing from NDOT, so I don't have those final numbers yet. So we'll bring that information back to the board at a future meeting. Time is of the essence in this case. They have needs to do this culvert replacement next summer, so they're pushing to try and get the engineering done. It would be my recommendation to approve the Lawson Fisher proposal for the full amount of $27,500. If we do not need the bidding assistance, we'll just not authorize them to do that part of it. Otherwise, we might have to come back later and add that part to it.
All right, so we're looking for approval for a $27,000 spend to do the design, as well as, I'm assuming the capital spend is gonna be 100,000, 200, I've got it. I don't know, just a rough number.
Yeah, the proposal, I think they estimated 130, maybe, something like that. So we'll have to deal with that to see what portion may be part of the in-depth contribution.
Okay. All right, so what's the pleasure of the board? I think this is the last item.
Yeah, I will move to approve the Lawson Fisher Associates proposal for US 12 and Muir Road sanitary sewer relocation in the total amount of $27,500.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you.
And just one clarification, Mr. President. In the Lawson Fisher proposal, they have, based on the above division of work, the pre-designed opinion of cost to the Michigan City portion of the sanitary work is $130,000, and that includes a 20% construction contingency, so hopefully we can get the bids to come out below that.
Okay. Got it. Sachi, so. All right, any other comments from the board or from the staff? Chris?
Yes, just in the pursuit of efficiency, and Wendy wanted me to report this to the board. Most recently found out that we had a lease agreement with Pitney Bowes, which is a company that supply a weigh station stamp machine for the district. In 2024 June, prior to that, an employee leaving here signed a 5-year contract. Unfortunately, that bill, the invoice went to that person's email, which no longer existed. So I most recently found this out. I then turned to the company to try to get rid of the, or dismiss the contract, was unable to. I turned to our attorney to see if he could help in that situation that was pretty binding.
Okay.
So in essence, we were able to then come up with an agreement of paying the $3,200 payoff and then get out of the contract and eliminate the machine.
Oh, you were scaring me there for a little bit. I'm thinking, is this 50,000, so 100,000? Okay.
No, so we lost a little bit, about $1,200 in the process. However, we're out of the machine now, so we're able to get that off our records and not utilize that anymore. We don't use that machine.
Thank you. And you can approve this on your own authorization.
Yeah.
Correct. Well, I appreciate you bringing it to our attention. Again, it's another one of those, going back to where we were at a little earlier, it's the diligence on the part of our leadership and staff and employees, frankly, that really create the atmosphere and the culture of setting a high expectation for great work and serving our customers. So, thank you.
Thanks, Joel.
All right, anything else for today? Our next meeting is December 17th. I assume we'll have a short executive session in advance, maybe a little less than a half hour or so, unless there's something else comes up.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens, and is our motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Appreciate everybody coming. Good work.